Mohammed Karali and Mohammed Chad. We are going today to go through what is Scrum, introduction to Scrum, and what is the difference between Scrum and Waterfall. Mohammed, what do you think the difference between Scrum and Waterfall?
To me, I like to always put this example. Everybody, of course, prefers iPhone 11 over iPhone 8 or iPhone 7. Why? Because it's newer, it's more reliable, it's faster, it gets the job done quicker. So Scrum is the new way of doing software development than Waterfall. So and if you miss a window with Scrum, it's most likely it's going to be you're missing it by 2 weeks or 3 weeks because you're delivering smaller chunks that you are able to see deliverables as you go continuously.
Yeah.
Also, Scrum to me, you have achieved Scrum if you have achieved these two statements, which is continuous improvement, continuous delivery. As long as you're delivering and you're improving, to me, as a Scrum Master, you have achieved the definition of Scrum.
Sounds great. Thank you for that. So to kind of expand on this, waterfall, it kind of like splits the phases of the project in multiple phases.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much you gather requirement, and this takes maybe a couple of months to gather requirements, sit with business, understand what exactly are we marching towards, or what do we exactly we want to build. And second thing is you actually start developing. Before you start developing and after you gather requirements, you start actually looking at it and you start to kind of give a rough estimate. So from to starting the development phase, developers will look at it, they will come back to business telling them, all right, we'll finish this piece of work in 6 months. So in 3 months, developers will start developing. In 3 months, maybe they will finish developing and they will start testing. So they will start testing another 3 months, and then after 6 months of the project, it will be the first time that they sit in front of stakeholders and actually demo the work. After they demo the work, usually that first initial requirements happen or requirement gathering happened 6 months ago. So business by nature, they somehow forgot about a lot of stuff. They changed their mind about a lot of stuff. So after they see the demo, they're like, I kind of like this, but I'd like to change this, and I don't want the page to look like that. So development team, they will look at stakeholders and tell them, great, I can do this. We need another 3 months to do this. So great. Then they will go off their way. Management, they will do their own things. They will take another 3 months. They will sit with management again. Hey, this is what we've done. What do you like it? They will be like, all right, I like this, but I would like to tweak this, and I'd like to tweak this, and I'd like to change that look of the page, and I'd like to maybe remove all these warnings, and I'd like to keep it more simpler, less clicks for users to actually do the transaction. So business will be like, great, I can, or development team will be great, I can do this. I'll come back to you in 3 months. So if we look at the whole timeline now, this project took another maybe around a year and a half, and it's still going back and forth between business and development team. And the touch base happens every 3 months or 6 months. So if we flip it to the other picture that we're trying to compare to, which is Agile. Agile is you kind of like get the high level requirement, all right? And then the team breaks it in smaller chunks. And the team will start actually once they start understanding the scope, the product owner and the tech lead, they will sit together and kind of like start writing user stories and epics to break the work in a lot more smaller stories. And we will tell management that we will start giving you a demo every 2 weeks to give you a smaller chunks of what you need. So we're all in touch and we're all on the same page at the start. So pretty much after 2 weeks, that management will get the development team and the product owner, they will get them in their room and they actually start demoing. Maybe they're demoing first thing, the login page, nothing fancy, just the first thing that you get into your application, login page. And business will be like, I love the login page, but I don't like the green color. Can we make it purple? And we'll be like, this is so easy, we'll make it purple. Next sprint, you will find it purple and with more even requirement that you wanted. So in Agile, like Mohammed said, it's a continuous delivery. We always, every week, we strive to continue delivering a smaller pieces to customer that we want to get feedback a lot faster, which makes the project a lot in timeline, a lot smaller. So a project in Waterfall, if we started and committing that this project will end in 6 months, most likely this project will end in a year or a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
With Scrum, if we promise it's 6 months, and we actually don't promise 6 months just because we feel like it, but after we go with the team through a couple of iteration or 3-4 sprints, which is what Scrum calls it, every 2 weeks that we march towards, and after we demo, we call it a sprint. So after every sprint, we will be demoing a demoable piece of working software, and pretty much that will cut. And if the development team and the business side, we are all aligned, that will cut actually, I would say, the development cycle drastically. And pretty much looking at, even in the sprint, you don't develop. So in Waterfall, you develop all your piece of code and then you move it to QA. With Scrum, you develop the smallest functionality, the smallest piece of functionality, which we call an MVP, minimum viable product. So we call it MVP. You're developing the smallest MVP that you could test and actually demo to your product owner and eventually demo it to the stakeholder. This process, which breaking the work into smaller chunks and breaking the delivery into smaller chunks, which we call sprint, will actually drastically shorten the life cycle and shorten the whole timeline of the project. So if a Scrum team committed to deliver a project in 6 months, like what Mohammed said, most likely we'll deliver in 6 months, and if we are late, we'll deliver it late 2 weeks or 4 weeks, not a whole year late. So this is something this is the main kind of
and through my experience as well, Mohammed, most of the time, like, you would promise something on time, and with Scrum, usually you will deliver it on time or a little bit earlier. So because Scrum calls for a buffer always, and something called, we'll get into details with, which is safe. With safe, you have to keep 1 sprint buffer. So you have to actually be complete before the promised date by 1 sprint,
Yep.
Just in case.
And safe is short for Scaled Agile from Framework. All right, I think we've gone through kind of like a 3,000 feet high level of what Scrum is and what Waterfall is, and why do we actually encourage development team to go through Scrum to make the application life cycle a lot faster. All right, I think that was the end of our session here. Thank you, everyone. You guys have a great day, and please reach out if you need anything. Thank you.